Happy Halloween, nerds. The internet is a bleak place. Science fiction has always warned us of the horror that comes along with every stride mankind makes with new technologies. Fahrenheit 451 is about the dangers of government controlling information. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is about the dangers of artificial intelligence becoming self-aware. Ghost in the Shell is about the dangers of mental human augmentation in an ever-connected world. Technology is a double-edged sword, on one hand bringing humanity to a place of increased empathy and understanding. On the other, however, brings out the worst in us. The internet is mankind's greatest achievement when it comes to communication. However, with an infinite amount of information and connectivity, the worst of humanity also becomes apparent. The internet gave us all a voice, but also unprecedented anonymity. As the lack of identity stripped away more and more morality, it was only a matter of time before the worst of humanity would make their own network. Forever anonymous, hiding behind VPNs and Tor browsers, invisible to world governments, and seemingly impossible to identify and trace. These people call their home the deep web, a place without morals, a place without dignity, and definitely a place without any sense of safety, a place no one should ever visit. So here's a bunch of YouTubers visiting the deep web.
Pretty cool.
I'm gonna skip that.
Escorts. What the f is an escort?
Drug trafficking, private communications, Tor encrypted sites, hitman services.
In this video, I'm going to take you through some of the best dark websites that you should check out.
What, you think I'm above that? No, dude, let's go do some illegal.
Wow.
Who wants to buy coke on the internet with me? Obviously, I'm joking. I live in Miami. I don't need to go on the internet for coke. All jokes aside, let me ruin the Halloween spirit by clarifying some things. So the deep web really isn't just a collection of websites where you can hire a hitman. Technically speaking, the deep web is anything on the internet that isn't indexed by major search engines. So yeah, that employee network you sign into at your job at Target is technically a part of the deep web. It's literally just stuff like emails, student portals, banking information, and like company networks. The reality is the hubbub you see on YouTube about these dark sites is really a much smaller percentage of the internet than you think it is. So that's it. Happy Halloween, nerds. Remember to check your candy for crack. Okay, so of course the story doesn't end there. The truth is, these sites exist, and I'm sure as most of you know by now, you need two things to access the dank web. First, you need a VPN so you can't be physically tracked, and two, you need the Tor browser. Tor is an acronym for the Onion Router. Tor directs internet traffic through a free worldwide volunteer overlay network consisting of more than 7,000 relays to conceal a user's location and usage from anyone, conducing internet surveillance or traffic analysis. The mind-blowing thing is that Tor was actually developed by the US military, the Naval Research Lab to be more specific. It was made to help with intelligence communications, basically. Tor was released in 2003 to make buying online drugs easier, and the Tor browser was released in 2008. It was made public because it would kind of defeat the purpose if the US Navy were the only people using it. It was also intended to be used by journalists and allies. However, of course, as we know, it became something much larger. Anonymity is a powerful thing. For one, it can be crucial in the fight for human rights in countries with, let's call them, more oppressive governments. However, it can also be a safe haven for those who want to avoid persecution. Tor, in combination with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, basically made a breeding ground for illegal activities. With money and identities now untraceable, buying and selling illegal goods online is as easy as opening up an eBay account. If you know anything about the dark web, you definitely know something about one of its more infamous websites, Silk Road. Silk Road was essentially the world's first successful, totally unsupervised marketplace, a place to buy and sell anything anonymously. Fake IDs, weapons, any sort of illegal thing you can imagine, you name it, the website had it. The website was ran by a gentleman by the name of Ross Umbrich, who went by the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, a name you'll probably recognize from the movie The Princess Bride.
You make a wonderful Dread Pirate Roberts.
The name is brilliant because it implies that the website was ran by multiple people. However, in one of the most insane cases involving LSD dealers, various hitmen, and the fucking Hells Angels, Lars was eventually apprehended and arrested by the authorities. This case has been covered to death already, so if you're unfamiliar, I highly recommend you watch Barely Sociable's video on it because he tells you everything you need to know. He's also way better at making YouTube videos, so What's really frightening is that the death of Silk Road did nothing to stop various other marketplaces from popping up. One of the most notable sites that you'll see on the dark web is Hidden Wiki, which is a site much like Wikipedia, which has many links to dark websites, which are mostly just random characters, clearly to make them more difficult to find. There's also search engines like DuckDuckGo and Candle, which makes finding sites even easier. It's almost as if the dark web is a virtual tourist attraction. However, the dark web, or deep web, whatever you want to call it, has a purpose that goes way beyond just secret internet debauchery. The purpose of the deep web has always been safety and anonymity. Again, while that's something we may take for granted in the US, that's something many countries around the world don't have the luxury of. In an ever-connected world, sometimes avoiding prying eyes is the safest way to communicate. Hidden Answers, for example, is a website that acts much like Reddit, but is totally unmonitored. There's even totally anonymous email services which are used mostly by whistleblowers and journalists to avoid tracking. There's even a deep web mirror of Facebook if you really want to avoid tracking. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and endorse that you search the deep web because, let's face it, Facebook and YouTube would not be happy with me if I did that. And of course, there's safety concerns with any website that you go to. Plus, there are plenty of YouTubers who took the dive already if you just have a service level curiosity. However, I'm just one drunk boy on the internet. Not your dad. Dad?
There are very legitimate reasons for using tools like VPNs and Tor browsers. The reality is that you're being tracked no matter what. Sometimes it's so Expedia knows where you're booking flights from. Other times it's for less innocent reasons. It's no secret that your information is valued by advertisers. Hell, Google's main source of income is really just your information being sold off. And there are many legitimate reasons as to why you would want to avoid being tracked. Seeking online privacy does not make you a criminal. While I can't endorse you browsing the Pirate Bay to download the latest Bon Jovi album, there are much more egregious things you can be doing on the internet. The real topic of conversation boils down to how comfortable you are with knowing that you are being watched by major internet providers. For most people, the convenience of the vanilla web outweighs their need for privacy. However, for a lot of others, there is legitimate cause for concern with the idea of constantly being watched. A big reason tools like Tor were even brought about was to truly make the internet private for all.
The deep web is a fact of life, just like everything else that's depressing and upsetting with the world. However, much like the depressing things in life, nothing is ever that black and white. The deep web is nothing more than a means of deeper communication that the surface web that we all know and love can't offer. It's a dangerous place, absolutely, but for some, a very necessary one. Maybe that speaks to the state of the world as a whole, or maybe it says something about how low humanity can fall. But much like everything else, it's a fact of life, and at the very least, is worth understanding. Damn, that got deep for a Talking Shots episode. God, I really wish I was invited to Halloween parties. So what do you think? Have you ever been on the deep web? What's your favorite Halloween candy? Mine are Ferrero Rocher, because I'm a little bougie boy. As always, we love hearing from you, so don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon. We have cool shirts and stuff. It's lit. Anyways, I hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween. I'm your boy Mike Dangerous, and this is Talking Shots.